I thought I recorded a introduction for this video, but apparently I didn't. Maybe I didn't press the record button. So in this video, the killing frost that we had killed the rest of the leaves on the grapevines. So I harvested the grapes and I cut back the vines. Then I went inside and I made fir juice, which is the juice of unripe grapes. It's a sour juice that you can use in place of lemon juice. So, hope you enjoy it. I have to cut the vine back out of my way to get at the grapes. Well, I've got one 5-gallon bucket full, and that second one is about quarter full. They'll be juiced tomorrow, and since I was at it, I decided it might as well cut the grapevine back to its main trunk. This is a well-established grapevine here. And next week I'm going to run over that with the lawnmower. This one up here is the same age, but it's not growing as well, probably because it's in the shade of the two sheds here. And that's the main trunk on that one, but it's a fairly good trunk on that as well. I have two more grapes here now. I know the name of these because I kept them. It's a Valiant Grape. And I got just a few off these because these are newer vines. They're not really established yet. And another thing I found, you see this? Now a vine had grown out from the main trunk along here, and it went down on the ground, set down roots, and was growing up straight. Now I don't have anywhere to plant this right now. Oh, maybe I'll go over and ask Wayne if he wants it, my neighbor. But it's good to know when I want grapevines again. I just take a vine, put it down on the ground on soil, weight it down, and it will send out roots. It's the next day now, and this is my hand crank meat grinder juicer. It clamps onto your work surface with the clamp. And inside here, this is your first part of your auger, which I can put this blade on. And then I have a meat grinder. take that off and put on this masticating auger, and then this cone, which has a screen here in the bottom. Put my ring on, hold it on. And put onto my work surface. And then this is the screw that restricts the material from coming out here, so it gets pressed to press out the juice. At first you put that one all the way in, like so. You know, grapes, they're pretty juicy, so I shouldn't have to break them or anything. I should be able to just drop them in there. It doesn't really matter if you get a piece of your stem in there, because that'll only come out in the pulp at the end, out this side. And now when you get to this point, you can see the pulp is coming out the bottom there, so I need to loosen off my screw. So that the pulp comes out the outside part there and not down in the in with my juice. Since the grapes are so soft, I can fill up the auger. Now that I've got it thickened up, you can see that it comes out pretty dry in the end, and the pulp that's coming down through here, I will strain it out afterwards. What I'm doing is turning with one hand, and on the other hand I'm taking the grapes off of the stems. But I think what I should do is just remove the grape from the stems and then run them through the juicer afterwards. going to have to put on a lighter shirt because it's warm here. I had to switch the juicers. I switched over to this electric juicer. This is one of those centrifuge juicers for two reasons. One is I've aggravated an old injury, and I can do very little with this arm, and it was causing me a great deal of pain doing that crank. The other reason is that there was too much pulp coming out of this screen, and it was causing me a long time to get the pulp out of the juice afterwards. So this screen has, well, in my opinion, fairly big holes. It's removable. So we have this. I'm thinking that I can make a screen to replace this one out of material like this. Now this is from one of those splatter screens that you put over a frying pan. And there are other similar things like the strainers that you get. This is a strainer that the handle is broken on. The material in this is stronger than what's in the splatter screens. So I need to make some adjustments for the cold press juicer. I tested this one already, and I found that it gets out just as much juice as the cold press juicer, and I don't have the extra big pulp in the juice to strain out afterwards. I end up with basically the same as I did when I after I strained everything out of from what the cold press juicer was. I get the same thing in the first go around with this. Now the challenge with this, you see I went 5 minutes, I'm going to have to go less, and this is now completely blocked. I have to take this screen out, and I've got a sink full of water here to clean that up with. First, take the main portion off and throw it in that bucket over there. Every couple of minutes, I'll have to take this screen out and clean that out like that. And you see this liquid down here, this is starting to build up, not because of the amount of liquid that comes out with the pulp, even though some does, but because this had gotten plugged, and so more of the liquid was coming out here and not going down in the catch container. That was just 2 minutes. Once again. Well, in the end, I got this. There's a lot of pulp in here, and I checked online, and they should put it in a tall bottle, and we'll put it back in the fridge, and let this settle out, and then you draw off the clear liquid. It should settle to the bottom, but some of it has some foam in it, so it might stay on top, so I'll have to take that off and then drain off the clear liquid and discard the grains. So this is what I have right now, and I'll put it in the fridge. Tomorrow or the next day we'll find out how much clear verjuice I can get. Well, I've let this sit for 24 hours, and here's one of the things you see. All of this, I'll push that bottle closer. You see on top there, that's the foam stuff where the air got injected when you're using a centrifuge juicer. If I did this all with the cold press juicer, then you wouldn't get that stuff floating up top. You would just get what sunk down the bottom. So all of that on top would have sunk as well. Fortunately, I do have something here that will work even better than draining it off. So here I got to go from here down to here. I have this bottle emptied. I tested it out before I started to record, and that was the one with the least in. So I've got this much clear verjuice. Mine is red because I add a lot of purple grapes. If your grapes are all green, that would be green. This is an air pump from a wine filter kit. So what I need to do, because this is curved, I can push this down and it'll go right down by the edge so I can see where bottle is. I shake off that little bit of stuff that I pushed down. I think you should be able to see that where the hose is up against the side there. So I'll push it down almost to the bottom pulp area that sunk down to the bottom. Put the hose there like that. I just put that hose in just a little bit, and I had to use some plastic grab for this portion. Just poking it in there to close off the air gap. Then I plug in my pump. Now there is some air leak, so I have to see there's some green in there, so I have to make sure I get that out into another bottle first. And back here. There we go. Actually, I don't need to unplug that hose. I can just do that. See, as soon as I start to see the sludge coming through the hose here, then I have to convert it back over. This one looks fairly clean. And this one is a little browner, so there might be some sludge left. I'm going to put it back in the fridge and wait, see if any more settles out. So that machine did well. You see, there's very little left in here now. This is my first one. I am going to save these. To see if there is a way that I can actually get all of the juice out, leaving me with dry pulp. Oh, I'll put that one back in here as well. This is the one that has the pulp in it. So, as I said, this one looks fairly clear. I think some might settle out of this one, and this one is pretty good. I don't know if this will go bad or not. They never said in the research if it retained its freshness as well as lemon juice or not. But I have 2 lemon juice bottles saved. They're plastic. So I'm going to put it in here and freeze it. When I run out of lemon juice, I'll just take this out and thaw it out. Yeah, there is some cruds in that one, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. I've got to find a stopper for that one. That is verjuice. Am I pleased with that? Well, no, but it's the first time, and next year I will have figured out how to get pretty much all of the juice out of the grapes. And while I don't have the summer heat to ripen up grapes, the winter is warm enough that grapevines survive and they grow excellent. You've seen them, seen my vines out there. And I can use the grapes to make verjuice every year instead of buying lemon juice. I hope that was informative, and if you liked it, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.